Hello, hello, hello. It's coffee time. Should really have gone to the Daily Mail website first. Oh, I don't know. Can we do this one? It's a lead story. This is a playground in the French Alps. I mean, it's a terrible story, but I'm going to cover it because it's just an appalling. It's a lead story. Yeah, this is in a park in Annecy, which is an alpine town in southeastern France. Today, this is at 9:45 a.m. today, and a fellow went in there with a knife and attacked the children, and they've actually got a picture. They've actually got a picture of the fella. They've named him and everything. And it's just a terrible, terrible thing. Yeah, he stabbed a child in its pram. And 4 other children, aged around 3, are knifed as well in the attack. Just an appalling thing. Again, they say he's a Syrian asylum seeker. This is why we should have the death penalty. Just take him out and shoot him. No OBS update, and this is them tackling him to the ground. But yeah, terrible, terrible thing. We should be able to live our lives in peace without this kind of nonsense and evil in our world. I mean, we're going to court news. Or we could do you want court news or just stop oil? Because we got more the public versus just stop oil footage. Where is it? You know, they're getting a bit handy here. Look, we're getting them off the streets there. This is in Hammersmith in London today. Hey, just stop oil. People are getting a bit fed up with them. But no, we're going to go to court news and the story of Geezer Tarjani from Leyland in Lancashire, and he's been charged with common assault and a public order offence because he's accused of pushing and shoving Matt Hancock. Yeah. Down an escalator. I don't know if you remember the attack. The attack happened on the 24th of January. And there's some footage I'm not seeing. He's pushing poor little Matt Hancock. And yeah, he accused the ex-health secretary of murdering millions because he was anti-COVID folk, you know, anti-vax folk people. Mr. Hancock told the trial at Westminster Magistrates Court, "As a public figure, I can't recall a time when I felt as intimidated as this." And it carried onto the train. See, he even went on the train and harassed him. Now again, I'm not a big fan of Hancock, but leave the guy alone. Come on, you made your point. He said, "I felt physically intimidated and felt like I needed to get to a place of safety." He was being completely unreasonable. So yeah, this is ongoing. His defence says that Tarjani denies any physical contact and believes it was Mr. Hancock who barged into him. Well, they've got the video footage. And yeah, the trial continues. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. What do you reckon? Do you think he's going down? I think so. Meanwhile, this is another awful story. Carl Stevenson is set to walk free after serving less than a fifth of his sentence for the unprovoked attack on Braden Stromberg. Now, Mr. Stromberg was left in a 2-week coma and nearly died after Stevenson struck him in Bolsover, Derbyshire on May the 2nd last year. And it's left him missing half of his skull. And he lives in fear that a single knock to the head could kill him. As you can see, needs one of those titanium plates put in. I'm going to sneeze, wait a minute. Jesus. Only hurts when I sneeze. Stevenson admitted grievous bodily harm and was jailed for 1 year and 10.5 months in February. But yeah, he's going to be soon to be released. So yeah, if you see this fella walking around, you might want to cross the road. That's Carl Stevenson there. He's just served 4 months in prison and he's going to be freed. But yeah, Braden of Mansfield, Nottinghamshire, has slammed a decision to release his attacker early, saying he was gutted when he heard the news. He says 4 months isn't enough time. It's ridiculous. I've not even had my surgery yet, and he's able to live his life. And again, Mr. Braden has to wear a special helmet when he goes out and about to protect his skull until the titanium plate is fitted, which he's waiting on that surgery. So there you go. Is that justice? I don't think so. But hey, there we go. Meanwhile, body form for you. Do you remember those adverts? Did you get them around the world, or is it just the UK? Anyway, Bodyform has fallen foul of the Facebook Stasi. Yes, the women's hygiene company has been banned from using the word period, vulva and clitoris in a campaign it's running at the moment. It's an anti-stigma campaign to get people, not so ashamed of their periods, which is sensible. But Facebook has said ads on its site must not promote sexual and reproductive health products or services, which Bodyform claimed amounted to being told that the video was too sexual. And yeah, this is the advert. Ooh. And how dare they use the name of lady parts in an advert for a product for lady parts? But Facebook's a very strange. I'm in Facebook penitentiary at the moment for saying a woman should be shot out of a cannon because she was, damaging the environment with cling film. It was one of those stunts, and I said she should be shot out of a cannon for her damage to the environment, and they said that I was inciting hatred and violence, and so I got put into Facebook penitentiary. Well, one, where am I going to get a cannon? Two, how am I going to get her into the cannon? See, they're not really thinking these things out. So yeah, Twitter's also banned the content, but the video has been successfully posted to both TikTok and YouTube. Who'd have thought it, eh? Who'd have thought it? Oh, now I've got a tickly cough. Oh, it's all gone wrong today. It's all gone wrong. Sorry if I just burst your eardrums on the old headphones there. Meanwhile, have you seen New York City at the moment? It's like Blade Runner, and it's suffering from really bad smoke. The air quality's dipped, and this really is the air quality getting worse because there are wildfires in Canada and the smoke is drifting down into New York City. You can see it on the satellite map here. So yeah, it's in from the. That's not very good, Darren. Oops. Whoa, there. That went a bit random. I love it when it does that. Yeah, the smoke is billowing down from the Quebec region of Canada and really having a bad effect on New York air quality. And it looks like something from a dystopian future. Not good. The air quality was so bad that Jodie Comer, who's an actress, She was performing her play on Broadway called Prima Facie. I think it's already in London. She's gone over to New York to perform it, and she had to be helped off stage just minutes into the show because she said she couldn't breathe, and the performance was stopped for 10 minutes and was restarted with the understudy Danny Arlington taking over her role because her air quality is so bad and she's not used to it. So yeah, don't go to New York, stay at home. Stay home, everyone. Meanwhile, Mayor Khan has been accused of being a NIMBY. What's a NIMBY? Not in my backyard. Because he's objecting to one of those luxury hotels that's going to house all the boat people coming over the channel. They want to put them in East London Docks beside City Airport. And he said, no, I'm not having it. I'm not having it, he says. He's going to object in the strongest terms. That's where they're going to put the barge. It's really a luxury hotel. But Khan says he said no. He's objecting. And here he is. He's saying, look at my invisible watermelon that I'm holding. So yeah. I thought you'd have liked it. Meanwhile, Sir Michael Caine has written a novel. Not a lot of people know that. Yeah, he has. The actor, who's 90 years old, has released an actual novel. Look at that. Wow. Who'd have thought it? What a great... I mean, again, it's amazing he's still going, but yeah. He's achieved a career first. It's a thriller called Deadly Game, about a Metropolitan Police detective who uncovers a high-level criminal enterprise. It's published by Hodder and Stoughton and it's going to be released in November. He said he always wanted to write a novel, but only got around to it during the COVID lockdown. There you go. That's one positive thing about COVID is Sir Michael Caine knocked a novel out. So yeah. So it could be good. So you have to keep your eye out for that. So he says, now I'm not an actor, I'm a writer. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Here you go, we've got more court news. This is a good one. This is bitches be crazy news. This is the story of Dawn Chasty, who's 59. I just want you to appreciate. I mean, she looks like she could be trouble. But yeah, she got into a little bit of an altercation with her son's then girlfriend, right? Well, there was a falling out involving her son's then girlfriend. So she went over to their family home and threatened the girlfriend's sister, Gabriel Sugden, right? But she was armed with a 50,000 volt taser. Yeah, it's like a stun gun. I'm still getting a 50,000 volt stun gun, yeah. And made a slew of death threats. Right? She'd gone over to the house to confront Kirsty after her son, Josh, was arrested by police following a lover's spat the previous night. But instead, Gabrielle, the sister, opened the door. Manchester Crown Court heard. and she pointed a stun gun at her and shouted, "You're a disgusting, vile little girl. You're all going to die. Just watch it. I'll get you all killed. I will come back." Nice. This happened on the 25th of February 2021 at 11 a.m. in the morning. Police later swooped on Chasty's home in Horwich near Bolton and found the stun gun on her bed. She later claimed that she'd acquired it for her protection because she'd once been a victim of a sexual assault. No one was hurt in the incident, but Gabriel was said to be shocked and frightened. Chasty admitted possession of a prohibited weapon, common assault, and was ordered to complete a 2-year community order after arguing she also suffered from mental health problems. Yes, she dodged jail. There you go. She dodged jail. So, so remember, if you see this woman at your front door, don't open it. Just call the police. My goodness, anyone can get away with anything. And this is her victim. Again, something for the dads. Something for the dads there. She's got a lot of front. So that's the story. A 50,000 volt stun gun. I mean, would you get it off eBay? Amazon? Do they do those? I do not know. I do not know. Meanwhile, we're talking about fertility. Fertility rates, they reckon, have plunged to a decade low. Right? And university graduates, female university graduates, are having fewer children as well. This is research from the University of Oxford. Women of all backgrounds had fewer children over the past decade and did so later in life than previous years. This was a study published in the Journal of Population Studies. The decline was particularly sharp in young mothers with well-educated parents who themselves went to university. Professor John Ermish from Oxford's Leverhulme Centre for Demographic Science, who carried out the research, said previous research has shown education is an important indication of a woman's fertility. It's not. No, that's not fertility, is it? That's they're deciding whether to have babies. She could be incredibly fertile. I think they're mixing up. I mean, he's a professor, but I think he's kind of put the boot on the wrong foot here. He said, whilst other studies have investigated differences by a woman's education, this study is the first to combine both parents' education and a woman's own education. This helps differentiate fertility further than either generation's education in isolation. His analysis found that women with low education, with parents who likewise did not go to higher education, had on average 2.3 children between 2010 and 2012, but that figure had fallen to about 1.6 by 2017-2020. And there's a little graph for you, a little bar graph there for you, so you can see it. But so to put it in a nutshell, only stupid people are having kids, and that ain't good. That film Idiocracy. It's not a science fiction movie. It's a bloody documentary. Meanwhile, there's a heat wave coming to Britain. Yet we're still doing it. Temperatures will hit 24 degrees today and then surge to 30. As yes, the Iberian plume is coming. Steady yourself for the Iberian plume. And there's been a warning by the UK HSA, that's the UK Health Security Agency, saying, oh, it's going to be a bit warm. And there you go, something for the mums today. Something for the mums. There you go. It was in St James Park, London yesterday. Whoa. Nice bit of beefcake there for you. What? I cater to everyone. So yeah, it's going to be what a scorcher at the weekend, but then there's going to be thunderstorms, so that's not good. Meanwhile, did you know energy costs have fallen 46% in a year? Yeah, but those savings haven't been passed on yet, and they've given 3 reasons here why those savings have been denied us and that households haven't benefited from the drop. So what are the 3 reasons? Oh, I've got to read it. Firstly, wholesale prices may be falling, but they are still high. Right. Second reason, that energy firms buy power long before it's needed, sometimes months or years in advance. It's called hedging. I'm sure that's something else. And the third reason, household energy costs are not falling, is that the cost of gas and electricity only makes up between 1/3 to 2/3 of the bill. So, yeah, so still fucked. Who wants to see the Crubik? What's a Crubik? Was it made by was it Ernesto Crubik? No, I was going to say Crubik's Rube. No, that doesn't matter. That's something that Scooby-Doo would say, wouldn't it? I'm going to show you. This is a Crubik, and it is a cube-shaped croissant. Indeed. Why? Why, God? Why? Why do we do this? And here it is. It's quite big. That's quite a meaty pastry, isn't it? That's like a block of pastry. You could probably injure somebody with that. Throw it at someone you don't like. Yeah, this is the Farmacia del Cambio bar in Turin, and it's created by chef Matteo Baronetta. And each day a long, huge queue forms around Turin's Piazza Caravaggio to try and get their hands on the freshly baked cubic pastry. And Baronetto named his culinary invention to the inventor of the Rubik's Cube, Erno Rubik. And he's been left humbled by the Crubik's success. But remember, it's not like the cronut. Do you remember the cronut? I had a serious case of cronuts today because I'm wearing tight jeans, so I had to really chrome me nuts into them. I don't write any of this, you know, I just make up as I go along because I just do it to make the missus laugh. But yeah, Baronetto says it's unlikely to be able to patent his creation. So who knows? There might be knockoff Crubiks coming to Greg's. Imagine that, the Greg's version. Dear. What else have we got? This is a follow-up on yesterday's story about Neil Cox and Danielle Quiggin, who went for a visit to the railway pub in Burnham-on-Sea. I don't know if you remember, but they were they're nudists, and they were upset. They said they've visited more than 500 shops, bars and restaurants and have never had a single complaint. And they said that they've been saddened because the pub that they went to has been bombarded by bad reviews on like TripAdvisor and that. Where's the quote? Mr. Cox, really, said the bad reviews fail to reflect the reality of their visit. He said, I've made to over 500 visits to shop, bars and other businesses whilst naked, and as far as I'm aware, not one of those visits ever resulted in a single negative review. Danielle and I find it deeply saddening that in 2023 an individual has attacked a small business that is trying to demonstrate acceptance and tolerance. Yeah, there you go. So, and here they are looking at Bristol's Clifton Downs. Now you can't see her Bristol's, but they are looking at Clifton Downs. There's a suspension bridge there. Oh, the cheek of it. I'm demonetised again. I'm going to get flagged for nudity. Oh dear, but I don't care. Meanwhile, Miss Russia's beauty pageant have been forced to defend their winner because there's been widespread mockery of Natalia Oskar from Khabarovsk in Far East Russia. She won the contest on Tuesday, And this is what the official picture looks like. You feel, oh, not bad. But then her real actual picture has been doing the rounds, and people have said, do what? That's not the same woman. And so yeah, the organisers have said, no, it's just bad lighting. It's just about the light's shining up. It's just bad lighting, because really she looks like this. Something for the dads. And here she is again, wearing her crown. Yeah, she competed against 82 women. Not 82-year-old women, but yeah, the judges loved her, and the organisers insisted that she was a worthy winner. So there you go. But yeah, many social media users made derisive remarks about her. Were actually from the Ukraine. Oh, wait a minute. A little bit of bias there, perhaps. A little bit of bias. Meanwhile, let's go to Marble Arch in London, which is a lovely tourist hotspot. Oh, what's going on there? Oh, they seem to be playing on the grass. What's going on here? Oh dear. Someone's not very happy. Yeah, tourists looked on aghast as men were wrestling with each other and fighting with knives and a bottle at Marble Arch. Man, it's nice, isn't it? It happened yesterday evening. There you go. What else have we got? Let's try and find some good stories. This is got some action here. This is a police officer. He was on patrol in Jesus Green in Cambridge on Sunday, and they've got the body cam footage of the arrest, and it's pretty impressive. But I'm just hoping it isn't an advert. That's alright, there's no advert. So here we go. So he's on foot after give us the rest of the footage. Running after a drug dealer. He uses the drug dealer's actual bike to chase him. The drug dealer dumped his bike to run, and the police officer grabbed his bike and cycled after him. Now that's some quick thinking there from the officer. And yeah, he also leapt over a fence as well. So he's an action man. There you go. Does he actually catch up with him? I haven't seen. Yes, he caught him. Way, bingo! Wow, that was exciting, wasn't it? The teenager has now been arrested and charged with multiple drug offences. Oh, ain't that a shame? Ain't that a shame? Oh, we've got Roger Waters news. This is the thing. They're still running this story. It's like they're comparing him. See, he's just so upset because, you know, I mean, look, someone dressed like that, so, you know, with stormtroopers either side of them, is obviously not an anti-Semite, is it? I mean, come on, how can Roger be an anti-Semite? Really? You know me, I'm always a big fan of, you know, of Roger Waters. You know, big fan. Oh, what's that on? What's that on Twitter? Oh dear. Oops. Yeah, dear old Rog, who moans that everyone is censoring him, blocked me on Twitter because he's that hard. I must have touched a nerve, or, you know, hit the truth. I'm going to say it again. Him parading around in the Nazi regalia only works in the context of the wall show. When you take it out of the wall show and present it as is, he's standing there being glorified by the audience being a Nazi. Oh, it's satire. Unless you, I don't know, hang an effigy of him or shoot him, you know, it looks like he's getting away with it. But he doesn't see this because he's an entitled multimillionaire, you know, and that's it. And if he goes on about the Israeli lobby and Jewish money and, you know, and talks in these anti-Semitic tropes, he's going to be labelled an anti-Semite. You can criticise Israel without relying on this lazy, woolly-headed thinking. You're supposed to be clever, Mr. Waters. Do better. Be clever. All you're doing is dog whistling to all the right-wingers who are anti-Semites. And that's why you do it, because you know those people support you. And I wonder why I'm blocked. I wonder what. But Rog, if you're watching, you won't be. I will happily debate you one-to-one. Happily debate you one-to-one on this. And I will look you in the eye, and I will take you down to Chinatown, my son. I will take you down. Thank you. I just need to get it off my chest, because he's doing more damage than, you know, again, a lot of the stuff I agree with, but except for the Ukraine, again, because he's Putin's puppet. You've got to remember that. Putin's puppet. UN Security Council. Up pops Roger. Up pops Roger. Oh dear. Went a little bit political then. Where are we? Have we got any animal stories? I feel like we need an animal story. I don't know, not really finding any. Come on. Oh, that'll do. I can do that. And then it refreshes itself. Let me get to the bottom of the page, why don't you? Where's it gone? Here we go. Technically, it's not an animal story, but it's a good one. But before that, I'm gonna cover this one. This is a TikToker called Alyssa, right? And she's got a problem. She's done this video about her. Well, I'm just gonna show you the picture and the caption, because it's probably easier if I just do that. Oh, yeah, it's one of those ones. Yeah, it's something for the dads. It's a lady with big chest complaining for TikTok views. But you know, I've got to cover this. But she's going on about the various comments she gets about her chest. I've got a funny feeling she's doing it for clout. I'm just putting it out there. Just putting it out there. Yeah, the video has racked up 1.5 million views. So this is where I'm going wrong. Lucky if you get 100 views, Darren. But I don't care. I've got this story, which I'm going to end on. We're going to Westwood Ho in North Devon. It's near Plymouth, isn't it? And this is the story of the RNLI. They were called out when 3 men were nearly lost at sea, right? Because they became adrift on a giant inflatable duck named Quackers. Yes, these are the RNLI volunteers with the inflatable duck. And they were out on a training call when they got called to the emergency. Yeah, 3 men were saved after their day to the beach ran afoul. Yeah, the duck had drifted 200 metres out to sea at Westwood Ho. Reminds me of those ducks, remember, in Hong Kong. Do you remember? Everything's connected. But luckily the RNLI were on hand. Remember, they are volunteers, it's a charity, do donate to them, and they were saved. Right. Yeah, so the men were rescued by a heroic beachgoer. Right, he had a paddleboard, and he managed to paddle the duck back to shore, and to get Quackers closer to the beach so that the men could jump out and swim to safety. Right, but then Quackers was immediately blown back out to sea, where the RNLI rescued him. They rescued Quackers, the inflatable duck. There you go, that's the story. Let's see if there's someone in the chat room. Oh, there's nobody in there. Nobody in there today. Whoops. Let's go. Oh, I've gone in there. Ooh. Liam's in. It's a good afternoon. Gearing up for the alleged heat wave this weekend, indeed. My partner lives near Boston, the US. Got a text this morning about the air situation. Really strange. Still not as bad as Bradford, though. Runs in and says, "Hi, Darren," and everyone. I'd have to read it in Michael Caine's voice. Exactly. What's in the news for Sano? Well, you're watching it. Thanks for the George Collins softening language recommendation away. Very good. Softening language, indeed. Payne says, just letting you know, I'll watch some of this. All right. Are you all right? Are you all right, Bob? You okay? I do worry about you. Sizing says, what's for lunch? Sausage roll? I don't know what's for lunch today. Could be a sausage sandwich. We had sausage sandwich. I have to wait and see. Could be something else. Anyway, thank you for watching. That was the news. Killing the channel one video at a time. Remember, you know you've got to drink it up. Oh yeah.